Cincinnati's property.
And I came over here. I came over twice, and the whole time I forgot.
It's for the food, right?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
They have coffee over there, do we?
Is this in the same order? So far in, there.
The juice.
Hey Phyllis, how are you?
I never seen that. There's decent ones and
And all that was the that's where the administration of those offices are. Back here, that other right there, they don't really right on the building in the back. That was the high school, you know, look at that on the right. They built that as long as the senior, that was the last regular class. And then over to the left, I see this as big words in your articles and I don't understand. I'll do a, be careful what you print. Okay.
This start, the judge looked fantastic. He must have just had an haircut.
He made my first meeting last week. During the meeting, Senator said something.
I'm good. How are you? Good. It's awful quiet in here.
If you do that, it's on the record.
Yeah, but we know you're sorry.
We don't, it's on the record.
Hold on. Danny Bannon.
No.
Oh, thank you. Send it out. Thank you.
We're going to call to order the special called City Council meeting for Tuesday, September 18th, 2018 at 6 p.m. Let the record reflect that all council are present. Going on to item number 3, presentation by the Needham County Judge Chris Schuhart on Edwards Aquifer Authority legal proceedings.
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me. Mayor Kelly asked me to give y'all an update. As y'all know, that y'all voted about a month ago to join into this lawsuit, and I want to let y'all know where we're at right now. Our attorneys have written up an intervention, which is basically our part of intervening into the lawsuit, saying we want them to change it, that we don't want the injunction to include Medina County and Bexar County, that at the end of the day, we want them to just basically leave us alone. And the main theory on that lawsuit is this rule's been in place for 17 years, and nobody's ever done anything. They've had legislative oversight to make sure that the rules the Edwards create are proper, and for 17 years, this legislative oversight and everybody in all the counties have just let it go. So people have been converting water as needed. Uvalde County seems to think that people are converting it without following the rules, and that's not true. Uvalde County, out of 60,000 base acre feet that they originally permitted, has only converted 250 acre feet total. That's less than 0.2%.
And that's in 17 years?
In 17 years. In that same 17 years, Medina County has converted about 1,000, a little over 1,000 acre feet out of an original 37,000 base acre feet permitted to us. In that same 17 years, Bexar County has converted about 4,000 out of the original 16,000. So, you know, as growth comes out here and you see people needing to convert water because they change the use of land. If you look around Castroville, Walmart's a perfect example. That was a field. Will Collins bought it. As he converts it, he's going to convert the water to be municipal water because he's going to need to bring water to the city of Castroville in order to be able to develop it. Same thing with Mr. Gutierrez over here and everybody else within y'all's city limits and or your ETJ. The DCOX the same way. Whoever buys that land is going to need to be able to convert that water. Or, and my biggest concern, Medina County doesn't own any water. We own 0.062 acre feet of water. So from the county as a whole, my concern is if we don't have that water to convert in the future, then you're going to be paying a lot more money for water because it becomes a much more rare item that we can purchase, and the people, the unrestricted pieces of it are going to become very expensive. So my biggest concern is just the cost of water in the next 20 years if we're not able to convert that water. For you guys, y'all own 262 base acre feet of water, so y'all actually have a vested interest because you've got, at $5,000 an acre foot, you're looking at over $1.3 million worth of water that becomes totally useless to you for anything but farming. So if you ever wanted to develop the airport and take that water and have it change its use to industrial or something else like that, that water goes away. And City of Hondo owns 380 base acre feet, same thing at the airport. They also have a huge interest, like y'all do, in making sure that this rule does not go away. So at the end of the day, where are we at right now? We have sent a letter, and I think Mayor Kelly was copied in on it. But we sent a letter out, our attorneys, your attorneys, our attorneys, sent out a letter yesterday to all the parties basically saying that we don't want to spend a lot of money on legal fees. We've heard the mayor of Uvalde in a speech say that he doesn't want to affect anybody but Uvalde County. That's all they care about is Uvalde County. I've talked to the county judge in Uvalde County, and he said the same thing. He said, Judge, we didn't mean to affect y'all. All we want to do is keep water from leaving Uvalde County and coming into Bexar County mainly, is what his concern was, just having it leave. They don't want it to dry up. So with that being the case, our letter to them said, hey, if y'all really want to do that, then let's just save a lot of legal expenses and let's go ahead and change the injunction to make it just Uvalde County. So any water in Uvalde County that gets converted will stay in Uvalde County and never leaves Medina County alone, Bexar County alone, and then let's go to the legislature and change it, because that's the only way we will fix this rule to where everybody will be happy, is in the legislature. We've already got Andy Murr, who is our state rep. He's on board with it. SAWS is on board with it. Bexar County's on board with it. They're all, let's work to change the legislation and get it done, and let Uvalde County do what they want and see if we can get it done that way. So that's kind of where we're at. I will tell you in the next week, it may get a little exciting because we'll see how they respond to our letter. But I think if what they're telling us is the way they want it to be, then it should be pretty simple. They should agree to let us out of the injunction so that deals that are in the works right now, land that's for sale where people are thinking they're going to get water rights with it, those deals can go on and not be affected, and we can move forward without having to wait for the legislation. So that, in a nutshell, is kind of where it's at. Anybody have any questions?
Herb, you have any questions? Todd?
No, sir.
Jesse? Paul?
No, thank you.
Phyllis?
Okay. Thank you very much. Please feel free to call me if y'all need anything. Sorry, I missed last week. I was ready, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
We just had a big miscommunication, so...
It's okay.
So anyway, thank y'all very much.
Thank you for what you do for us. I mean, we appreciate it that
Sure.
you're out there leading this battle. I mean, this is an important thing for Medina County, and I am thrilled that you took it upon yourself to lead this, because it could have just gone by the wayside and if nobody would have noticed that it was happening.
And that's a fear, because the judge entered that order before we even knew there was a lawsuit.
Yes.
So the end result is I was on step 7 of the 12-step recovering attorney process, and this lawsuit has knocked me back down to step 2. So I'm going to have to fight my way back to get over it, but I'm having fun. So
Thank you, Judge. We
Thank y'all.
appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
Safe trip home.
Okay, going on to item number 4, discussion and appropriate action on ordinance adopting the 2019 annual operating and capital budget. Jerry?
Good evening. Thank you for agreeing to have this special meeting. So the way the law works, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of backwards. The order that this is done, you adopt your budget first, then you do your tax rate. That's what the law says we have to do it. So that's why we do it this way. So if you have any questions. So basically, you have what we've discussed. We've given you a draft of what the budget will look like. We're still continuing to work and clean it up, but we want to give you a cleanish copy tonight, just so you'll have some things that were not included, like the organization chart. Those things, they're not really part of the adopting the budget, but just the budget document. Thank you, Councilmember Dyer, for going through the budget and helping us to find some of these things that we were doing wrong, or that we had omitted. So as we talked about last time, the difference in this one and the one you have before was we included $500 for the police department for the generator that we had left out. In the utility fund, we have reduced that by about $140,000, and that was due to some capital of $118 that really shouldn't have been put in, some equipment that shouldn't have been put in this budget that should have been in the next year's budget. And then we found we had duplicated a debt service payment of $24,000, so we took that out. And then the remainder is about $4,600 worth of debt service that we trued up. So that's the difference. So this budget that you're adopting, what you're actually doing is legally you adopt the general fund, the utility fund, and the airport fund. So let me go back here, make sure I say this right. So the general fund proposed budget for 2019 is $3,808,583. The utility fund is $7,151,799, and the airport fund is $802,889. And what you're doing is you're adopting those, you're appropriating the budget in that amount for us to use to pay the bills of the city. But total of all funds amounts to $12,666,017. That includes all the funds, all of our debt service funds, our capital improvement funds, our technology funds, and all those funds. But legally, you're adopting those 3 budgets. So if you have any questions or need anything clarified, we are happy to do that.
We'll start with Phyllis. Phyllis, you have any questions?
I've already asked my questions, and I don't see anything change.
Okay. Paul?
No questions.
Jesse? Todd?
No questions.
Herb?
Mr. Mayor, I think the interim city administrator and the city staff have done an outstanding job of building the FY 2019 proposed budget. It provides for needed investment in infrastructure, personnel, vehicles, and it increases city revenues. And it fully supports the mayor's initiative to provide the needed infrastructure to complete new developments. And I fully support the proposed budget.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to accept the 2018-2019 budget? And we have to go have a motion.
I'll move that we approve the budget.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Roll call. I'm sorry, I should have told that. We need a roll call.
We'll start with Phyllis.
Absolutely, unequivocally, no. I
Okay.
compared this one with other cities.
Paul?
Aye.
Jesse?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Herb?
Aye.
The ayes take it 4-1. Moving on to item number 5, discussion and appropriate action on an ordinance adopting the 2019 tax rate.
Okay, as we discussed, staff is asking that we adopt the tax rate up to the rollback rate as this will support this budget. That's what we have calculated the budget on. For our debt service, the interest and sinking fund, the tax rate will be 0.041494. And the total tax rate, the only thing that I ask is that when you read this, we want to adopt a tax rate of 0.508850. That is what we published. And
That's not what we have in here.
I know it says 5.3, that is rollback, but we published 5.0, and it only amounts to just a few cents. I mean, it's not that much, but because that's what we published and that's what we, and that keeps us, no questions asked as to whether or not that goes above rollback. It certainly stays below rollback, and we just want to make sure that's,
Okay.
so.
Any questions, Herb?
No questions.
Todd?
No questions.
Jesse? Anything? No. Paul?
Just as we had mentioned in the previous meetings that we were kind of aiming high on our expenditures, low on our revenues. I would love to have seen this come in a little bit lower, but I understand that it balances our budget, and that's where we start. The one thing is that when you have expenditures, you can control them, but when you set a tax rate, it's firm. And so I guess we'll do this for a year, and then if we can make an adjustment in the future years, that might be advisable. So.
Okay. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Phyllis?
Again, I compared tax rates, city sizes, budgets. Ours is obscene compared to the others. The city's much bigger than ours. And our average home, our number of homes, again, the burden is on the only people that own homes. That's it. I've already said it.
Okay. Could I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 0.508850, which is effectively a 0.94% increase in the tax rate.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. We got to do a roll call on this one? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Was this not a roll call vote?
Nay.
Okay, 4-1.
I'm sorry, who seconded that motion?
Huh?
Second.
Jesse.
So the next one you have to do a roll call.
Oh, okay.
You got it, 4-1? Okay. Item number 6, discussion and appropriate action on an ordinance ratifying property tax revenue increase.
Okay, this is one of those laws that I'm assuming we have to do this since we adopt our budget and then we do our tax rate, and so we have to come back and say, okay, we we did what, well, I really don't know, but that's what we have to do. We have to ratify the two things you just did. So basically, it's, as Councilmember Dyer said, it's a tax increase of .009, whatever that number was. I don't have it in front of me. And so if the revenues come in as predicted according to the county, we will be bringing in $458,000 into the general fund for things such as police, streets, parks and recs, and code enforcement.
Okay, any questions? Herb?
No question.
Todd?
That last digit should be a 0 on this page as well.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No questions.
Jesse? Paul?
Not at all, thank you.
Phyllis?
None.
Okay. Could I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we ratify the approved tax rate revenue increase, property tax revenue increase.
You have to read the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's on the page.
I'm sorry. I move the approval of the ordinance ratifying the property tax increase reflected in the fiscal year 2018-2019 budget that will require raising more revenue from property tax than in the fiscal year 2017-2018 budget.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call. Phyllis?
Nay.
Paul?
Aye.
Jesse?
Yes.
Todd?
Okay.
Herb?
Aye.
Ayes carry it, 4-1. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Have a motion to adjourn? We're going to adjourn at 6:18 p.m. and thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.